Hey guys, so recently I've been scammed by a streamer called Sliker. I think like about 2 days ago, he has been exposed by like everyone that he scammed a lot of people. He borrowed a lot of money from a lot of people and he never paid them back. And you can see this all over Twitter right now. It's like a bunch of people saying how much money they lent him and he never paid back. So some people were like, some of the people he scammed were really like, they were poor. They were like not content creators, not streamers. They barely had a job. This is a pretty big deal. I think he's scammed over like 100,000, maybe $200,000 for hundreds of people. It was recent for me. He borrowed money from me 1 or 2 months ago, and I found out through this big leak essentially that I'm never gonna get my money back. I knew of Slicker beforehand and he knew of me. We kind of were like, we knew each other, were content creators. I invited him on a show I had previously. I guess thankfully he didn't make it. We knew of each other and I gave him money. My thought process was, I'm only gonna give him as much as I can afford to lose, right? And also, he was an established streamer, so I thought he would be able to pay it back, right? Imagine you have a friend who's making like more than 100K a year, and he's not able to pay you back of 500, 1,000 bucks. So logically, I was like, okay, he's gonna be able to pay me back. I can afford to lose this money, and also, I could use it as an opportunity to, build relationships. I am doing him a favor. Maybe this can build some relationship with this guy, right? Yeah, it built a relationship, certainly. It just wasn't the type of relationship I was expecting it to be. Originally, I didn't think about making a video on this person because everyone was already dogpiling on him, right? So I felt kind of bad to add more to it. But then I thought, he literally took $1,000 from me. So losing $1,000, I might as well make a video anyway, right? I might as well make a video out of it. So it turns out he had a massive gambling addiction, right? All this money he was loaning, he was borrowing, he was gambling with it, and he lost, I guess, all of his money. And he was borrowing money from other people to try to pay back the other people he borrowed money from. It was like a Ponzi scheme where he didn't make any money from. So I'll just show you guys the chat logs I had. So yeah, I'm leaking DMs, but hey man. So around July, he was like, yo, sup? And he was like, don't mean to be rude. My card got blocked and he's in Amsterdam. Can I ask for $500 and I'll pay you back once I'm in England? So he's originally from England. And he was in Amsterdam for TwitchCon, right? And the timeline matched, right? I knew TwitchCon was there during this time. So I was like, okay. It was like, oh yeah, please give me this shit, whatever. I was like, are you hacked? He calls me and confirms that that's him. Yeah, basically I sent him the money for the reasons I mentioned. So yeah, basically I sent him the money because, he's like an established streamer. Imagine someone making like over 100K a year. Like you'd think they're able to pay you back $500, right? And well, this is like pounds, so it was a bit more than $500. So I gave him the money, and I also thought of it as a way to, build relationship with other people in this industry, this content creation industry. I was like, okay, here you go. There's no way this guy can't pay me back. At this point, I had no idea he had a gambling addiction. Had no idea he was borrowing money from hundreds of other people. I thought I was the only one, right? So I was like, okay, take care, bro. Don't get your shit blocked again. So I was trying to be nice. And then he's like, can I ask for 700 more? I was like, bro, what? I was like, my card got blocked after sending you the 500. You're going to have to survive. Obviously, my card did not get blocked. But I was like, I'm not going to give you £1,000 for what, right? This is not worth £1,000. I can't give you that much. So I was like, yeah, have fun, whatever. And you really can't do 700. Even in crypto, really, at this point, I should have, something should have clicked for me. Because you can't really use crypto in the real world like that, right? Even if he needed to buy like a hotel or some shit, if I give him crypto, he can't do shit with that. I even had a hunch. I was like, are you gambling or something? And he was like, no. And I was like, no, I can't give you more. Then I'm like, I get you, but I can't pull hundreds of pounds out my ass. So I was like, no. Go live right now. I was like, go live right now and beg for subs. After a month, or about a month, half a month, I kind of forget. Like I was really busy during this time. I was at my Facebook internship. I didn't really, respond to him or tell him or ask for my money back. But he messages me anyway, and it's like, oh, they did me dirty. I'm sorry. And I was like, oh, you're back in UK. Everything good? Can you pay me back within 1 week? I was like, if you need more time, just let me know. Because it's not like I needed the money. This guy's like, I have a sponsor. They'll pay me on the 20th. So I was like, okay. How much does Twitch sponsor pay? I was like, oh. Yeah, basically we started talking about like, YouTube and Twitch sponsors here. which I will just skip over. After that, I gave him 190 pounds more because, you know, we were talking a bit, and he was like, "Can you give me 190 more?" And at this point, I was still very busy. I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever, take it." But it was like 200 pounds. But yeah, I just gave it to him. I didn't think much of it. That was kind of stupid. I should not have given the extra 200 pounds. I really shouldn't have, especially since he didn't give me back the first 500, right? And then at this point, I finished my internship, so I had more time. I was like, "Yo, this guy still didn't give me my money back." So I'm like, "Brother, let me know when you're good." And he's like, "Sir, I'm still waiting. Money comes from Twitch." At this point, I'm kind of like, I'm suspicious because it's been like a month or two. You got paid by Twitch already, right? And it's like, yo, I need to pay my tuition. Like, I had enough to pay my tuition, but you know, I was trying to, what do you call it? Like sympathetic, garner some sympathetic points. But obviously, yeah, this guy was scamming. So if you're scamming, you don't have sympathy for your victims, or at least not that much, right? So I was like, "Oh, forgive me, FML." At this point, I'm like, "Bro, this feels like a scam. It's been over a month. Give me back that shit now. Like, here's your deadline. Give me that shit back." So at this point, when I felt like it was a scam, I kind of changed my tone. I was like, you know, if you need to borrow 500, that's fine. But if you're scamming me, that's something else, right? So September 1st arrives, and he doesn't give me back the money. So I just went on his stream directly. I went on his stream. In his chat, I said he was playing GTA RP, and I was like, "Oh, you're playing this shit game. No wonder you can't pay me back." Kind of as a joke, but also kind of not as a joke, right? And he didn't really address it on stream. He didn't read my thing on stream. Like, some other chatters saw it and they were laughing, but he just DM'd me directly while he was streaming. He was like, "Yo, I hope you didn't come on my stream to talk about owing, bro. Come on, this shit is personal, but I guess you gotta blackmail me." So he's trying to make me feel bad now. He's trying to make me feel bad about confronting him about where's my money. I'm still being courteous here. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm starting to feel like you're scamming me. You have to understand. I'm being chill right now. I can get more not chill." And he's like, "I can show you my bank, whatever. I don't know about this. It's kind of sketchy. Give me back my money." He's like, "Oh, sorry. I'll respond after stream." I was like, "Okay." And then he says, "Guaranteed is mid of the month." So I'm like, "Okay, September 15th, it's in like 15 days. If he doesn't give me it back by then, I'm just gonna go public with it. Like, fuck it." So, you know, at the beginning, I was thinking, why would an established streamer risk scamming 500 for me to potentially ruin his reputation, right? Because I have an audience too. I can expose him. So it didn't make sense for me that he would scam like this. But obviously, I didn't know he had like a gambling addiction, which makes you do stupid things. So at this point, I'm like, "Yo, you can pay me back half of that if it's like 1,000 is too much at the same time." That way, I knew if he wasn't even gonna give me half of that, I know he was scamming. He's gonna be scamming for sure. So September 15th arrives, and I think I was busy that day, so I didn't message him. But I realized he didn't pay me back, so I was gonna message him the next day. But he messages me first, and he was like, "Oh, I meant to pay you, but Twitch pay usually takes a bit, right? Twitch usually pays their creators on like the 15th of the month, around then." He said, "Oh, on the 20th, you know, max." I was like, "Okay, 4 days." This is why I was coping. I was like, "Okay, maybe this guy is actually gonna give it back to me in 4 days." So I was like, but I was still kind of pissed. I was like, "Okay, thank you for letting me know." In my mind at this point, I was like, this is the last straw. If he doesn't pay me back on the 20th, I'm just gonna go public with it. 2 days later, or 1 day later actually, the whole thing gets leaked. He scammed over hundreds of people, or tens of people, dozens of people, over 200K. Like, oh my, like, goddamn. Yeah, that's when I realized I am not getting that money back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I heard Ludwig and XQC are like organizing to give everyone back their money, so he doesn't have to pay back anyone. Maybe I'll get my money back, but anyways, learn my lesson here, man. Do not loan people money, or at least don't give out more than you can afford to lose, right? If you loan people money, you should think in your head, there's a big chance I'm never gonna see this money again. Be careful, and also don't fucking gamble, man. Don't fucking gamble. Damn, I didn't know gambling addiction could get this bad, and I read a bit about it, and apparently I think it's like one of the addictions with like the highest rates of suicide. So it's really bad. Do not gamble, guys. Don't gamble. On a different note, I just passed my first round with Citadel, the phone screen. We'll see what happens. There's like 3 more rounds, and I saw some people asking, why are you interviewing for Citadel still when you already have Facebook? Well, Citadel is I would say Citadel is like one step above Facebook. It's like hedge funds they're harder to get in, they pay more, they're do like really pretty interesting stuff there too. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. Peace.